Hey everybody, Ken and Baranin here for Thursday Night Poker. We are back to part 2, which we've now decided is going to be a 3-part series of the St. Valentine's Day Massacre Final Table Tournament.
Yep.
Welcome, Brandon. Alright, so we're still at, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players?
6 players.
Right?
6 players, Pat's eating Chinese food.
And Joe just made a SpaghettiOs remark, which I thought was pretty
hey,
funny.
Nick, get over here, bring your SpaghettiOs.
Bring your SpaghettiOs, which was good. I mean, you know, it's not always bad to be known as a nit.
No, it's not.
I have been up playing my fish abilities,
right?
And I'm just trying to bank on them.
Just roll with it, right? Just tell everybody.
Yeah, I mean, when everybody thinks you're something, whatever it is, a nit, a whale, a donkey, whatever, doesn't matter.
You can use it to your advantage.
Use it to your advantage.
That's what
Don't be mean about it or upset. I'm not a nit.
Right.
Just pretend you're a nit and then play like a wild man or make bluffs in spots that only nits get through.
That's what I try and do. People think that I'm crazy, but I just try and I'm like a secret nit.
You're a closet case
I'm
nit.
a closet
You're a
nit,
closet nit.
But nobody thinks that I am, so it's like great.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
All right, blinds are now 10,000, 20,000 with a 20K ante because they're at 6 players. So when does the
half
big blind ante halves at
half
of a final table, which unofficial final table is 10 players, so half of that is 5.
Correct.
Seems to be a point of contention.
Joe, all in.
All in with deuce 3.
I think Joe completed the small blind. Joe shoved and got it through.
Insta-shoved. With an ace.
So I forgot these stack sizes. I also forgot the 4 seats name.
Lee is the 4 seat.
Here you go.
There you go. Look at us.
Anthony is in the red right there.
Yep, with 725.
So we're down to 5.
You got Jill at $500,000, Lee at 400, Insta at 370, and then Joe is our bottom stack with now 255. He had 10 big blinds, just ripped it in there and got a bonus, and got a bonus small blind.
So we are at 10, 20, 10 because there is only 5 left.
Right. So we gave the folks what they wanted.
Right.
We just didn't realize that's where we were. We couldn't see that angle.
Gave the folks what they wanted. All right, Joe, ace, jack of clubs.
All right, I'm ripping. Oh
boy, hold on.
Okay.
Did he just limp here too? This is kind of gross. He's getting
no
broke here.
Joe
called,
limped.
Which is
Oh wow.
This
small blind, big blind. Holy crap!
Yeah, all this is getting in.
This
here.
doesn't happen.
No.
For everybody who says online poker's rigged, like here's an exact online poker hand, right?
Yep.
Like, this is bullshit. This never happens. And it's
call,
like he sets a trap
ace,
and then
jack,
just gets
queens.
trapped himself.
Yeah.
Let's see if the ace can come out on the flop. Maybe some clubs, maybe some face cards. Monkey, monkey, monkey.
Ace ball.
It's nice when you drill the ace on the first, just right on the flop. Now he's not worried about a heart anymore because it's the queen of diamonds. Mo with the slow roll river. 4-banger. Double up. So now Joe and Lee just switched spots.
Yep.
Except Lee's a little bit more worse. Or is more worse off? Is worse off.
Yeah, more worse? Yeah. No.
Yeah, he seems to be in a worse position.
There you go.
Because he's got 132 now in chips, which is
what, 7 bigs, 6.5 bigs. So that's just super unfortunate.
It's just you get 2 big hands, and this is kind of what needs to happen in tournaments sometimes to get players to get off their ass and get involved.
Yeah.
Right? Like you got to get.
I had a hand in the monster stack yesterday.
Are we going to talk about the WSOP already?
Well,
I didn't want to throw it in.
No, I was just going to talk about mine.
I wasn't going to bring it up.
No, we don't need to.
Tell me about your bubble whack.
Nah, I don't worry about the bubble, but I full to me, I had aces on the button, kind of like not deep, but like 10 hours into a tournament, and I was like, gosh darn it, like it folds to me, and of course I have black aces like on the button. I raised small, and then the big blind just jams, and I was like, wow, this really happened?
Pew, 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 pew.
I called and he had queens, and I was just like, how does this even happen?
No queen, no queen, no queen, no queen.
This is the internet. Like, aces versus queens?
In the blinds?
Yeah.
I mean, not quite the blinds. Button
big blind, though?
Yeah.
That's pretty much, that's unfortunate for that guy.
That's a cooler.
I cashed. I didn't cash anyway, so it didn't matter. But
You didn't cash?
No.
No, you said you bubbled. How close to the actual bubble were
I
you?
got like, I don't know, somewhere between like 9.
They played all the way down to the money?
Oh, yeah, they were deep in the money.
Oh, even after you got busted. I got
Yeah,
you. What
I
time
got
did you get
busted
busted
at like level 18, and they played until level 21.
Okay. And what were they, 20-minute blinds or?
30 minute levels.
That's a pretty good tournament, that
It
monster
is
stack.
35K to first.
Wow. That's gross. Ace queen suited for Joe.
I think I got like 80, 89th or 88.
Joe raises to
81.
60 and trying to get Lee in there. He's out. Nit's out. Ooh, KJ?
Yeah. It's a tight fold from the big blind.
That is a tight fold from the big blind, folks.
It's not a loose fold.
No. He's got to maintain his net image. Did you see he posted on Instagram his 0% aggression frequency?
No.
Yes.
That's awesome.
He took a screenshot of it. I literally was like, I love this.
That's really funny.
That's so good. All right, Lee's down to 6 big blinds now, but he is past the blind, so he's going to get a couple of free hands, which is nice.
Crucial.
I got down to 4,000 in the Omaha tournament on Sunday, and I got 5 free hands. And everybody's like, oh, we can't believe that you didn't just jam it in there and go nuts. I was like, I have 5 free hands. Why would I just dump it in on the first hand? Like, I get to look at 5 of them. Obviously, I'm going to pick one of these 5, but...
Yeah, your boy Justin said that you played very well. He said that he was impressed.
Right? Because,
He
again,
literally
everybody thinks
said-
I'm a dipshit.
Well, he literally says, like, for a guy who has unlimited money, or something along those lines, he was like...
He played really good.
Yeah, he's like, he got kind of short. I thought he was just going to jam it all in there and rebuy. He's like, but he played pretty good.
Nice.
So
And I survived and
Yeah.
did quite well. So everybody who
deuces.
followed on Facebook, or I'm sorry, followed us on Instagram and Twitter, pretty awesome. I felt like I got a lot of love and sweat at the final table, and it was exciting. It was fun. And Manoli won, which is even crazier.
Yeah, that's... Now I'm going to have to play every PLO tournament ever.
Right?
If I know that.
I know.
Ken can get
I almost
second
fired
and
the
no one
08
can win.
tournament last night
Just
to play.
Right.
Did they have any more? Is there a horse event?
There's a horse event today.
Any more Omaha events?
No.
I think that's it. The mixed games are done after this, right? Now we got to decide about the main. I'm going to be out of town, so thank God I don't have to worry about playing. You going to play the main?
No.
No? You're out?
I'm out.
I'm
I've
out.
donated my 1,700 enough times.
Nice.
Maybe I'll play. Man. It's tough on the weekends.
Yeah, it's true. And the final table's on Monday?
Yeah.
All right, Anthony and Jill here. It looks like small blind, big blind, check, or limp check. Anthony probably could have. No, he was a small blind.
Check, flop, check, turn.
He's going to win king high. It's going to check the whole way down.
River, winner.
As the big blind there, do you ever think that you should just fire one bullet just to see what happens?
The only way you can win.
All right,
It's really small.
especially with 5-3. Just min bet.
Yeah. Bet 22,000. If it gets through, sweet. If it doesn't,
You're out 22,000.
sweet. All right.
My problem is where I find it to be trouble is I bet 22 in the turn. I guess I guess you just check back the river if they call.
Yeah, you just try once, usually. Those blind versus blind
My
spots.
problem is I always try twice.
Well, twice as good on some boards, but not stuff like that.
I'm also,
If you look at the board texture.
I'm also calling. I no longer call it no limit hold'em.
What's it called? No
I
limit
call it
fold'em?
nope. I call it 2-card Omaha.
2-card Omaha. Kind of like that.
It's not bad, right?
Yeah.
I don't play hold'em. I play 2-card Omaha. I'm gonna make that a mini CSOP event, and just to make people go crazy
Wait,
because they
what
won't.
is
Wait,
this?
what? It's a what? And I always tell them, but you have to only play. You have to play one card in your hand and the board. Which is
It'd
not
be pretty
true.
sweet if you had to play both 2-card Omaha. It's just
It has to play your
hold
2.
but you have to play both cards in your hand.
No, it's insane.
That's awesome.
You got to play one. You just have to play one.
Yeah, and hold them.
No, that's what I'm saying.
But
In
in 2-card
2-card Omaha, you play at least one out of your hand, and you can play 4 on the board if you want. At least one. You can play 2 and 3. But you can't play 5 and 0. Meaning a royal comes out on the board. You still got to
Oh,
play
you're saying
one
you
of your
get
cards.
4 cards.
No. We've fallen into a very deep
Because
hole.
if you, what's
What I'm saying is, unlike Hold'em, where if the board plays, in 2-card Omaha, it does not. You have to play at least one card from your hand.
Oh, I see.
So you can't chop a pot with, you could still chop a pot if it was,
I got
3 kings and an ace, and we each have an ace, we both have a full house.
Sure.
But if it was king, ace, ace,
So the only thing that's
Full house on the
modified is
board.
It's when the board plays.
correct.
Okay.
would be kind of funky.
It would be funky. It'd be more funky if you had to play both cards in your hand.
That would be insane. But also very awesome.
Yeah, that would.
All right, Insta's got a hand now, folks, in the cutoff position, which we joked about. It's weird 5-handed because I feel like I'm under the gun and I have under the gun mentality, but I'm really like in the hijack position because it's only 5 players.
Yeah. It is weird.
So it's a weird. It's just I feel like it's a weird spot when you're 5-handed.
So Instamuck did raise what? This is under the gun. Also the hijack.
Yep. That's why I brought it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Anthony called from the cutoff.
Yep. With a better hand.
But Anthony's probably scared. That's why he didn't re-raise. He probably would have re-raised everybody
Which,
else.
again, everybody complains about your table image, but his table image is nitty, and it's going to work out for him. Like, he might even get a check back. I bet if Pat bets, I don't know if you see a raise from Anthony.
No.
He's got to bet it now.
Yeah.
He's probably like, I can't believe I spiked a queen on his ace-king. Right?
Right.
Bet it out. Good thing that's not the 8 of diamonds there, or this could be a big pot quickly.
And there it is. Take it down. Ace, queen, winner.
And again, Anthony had the best hand the whole time, and I think in his mind he's like, oof, got one past Pat there.
Yeah, like, good thing you didn't raise me.
Good thing he didn't raise. Yeah, because if he 3-bets, I think Anthony might have actually been able to fold, which is it's cool when you think about people's image at the table.
Yeah.
I will say this, I also felt like I noticed some betting patterns with players where, like, when we're playing Omaha and, you know, like, the guy would make a small bet and somebody would just min-raise him. The guy shows, like, his busted straight or flush draw on the turn, or that he's got a straight or flush draw on the turn, and he folds, and I was like, wow, now I know that, like, if he calls, it was easier to put people on hands because I was like, holy cow.
You can take that stuff out of his...
Why would you show me that? Like, literally, this one guy, I was like, man, you poor schmuck. Why are you folding every time the guy next to me, to my immediate right, literally min-raised the guy 3 times, and he folded all 3 times? I was like, bro, call one time. Right. Just one time in here.
Have some fight in you.
Yeah, you can't just give up.
It's a walk.
Roll over and die. But I have 2 live cards. Unless you're playing 2-card Omaha, in which case you might only have 1 live card. Blinds are around to Lee. Did he double up and we missed one?
No.
Oh, I'm thinking the orange are only 20K stacks. So yeah, he's got about 130,000. Yeah, and for some reason I was thinking, why does he have more chips? The graphics are wrong, but they're not. All right, Jill, the last lady standing in the 2019 WSOP, who has agreed to be on the CCG-sponsored podcast.
Great.
We're still working on a name because the name we chose
was somehow already taken 6
by like
times,
5 people.
And
we didn't know that
until after we
yeah.
All right, so Lee rips it with the Jack 10 of hearts. Pat Reese shoves the Ace 10 of clubs, and we have an all-in.
Pretty
situation.
dominant all-in here.
We have an ace, and he's drawn to a king ball. Now he's got more outs. Jack 10, king... No.
8.
5th place for Lee.
Well, the 10 was no good because Pat had ace 10.
Oh. And the jack was no good either.
Nope.
So just a king.
Yep.
I got it. I like stacking them.
I like stacking them, he says. Who doesn't? All right, pretty good showing for Lee.
Yeah.
Got coolered.
He had the best hand. He got 3 outed.
That's coolered, right?
I mean,
It's worse
Joe
than a
got coolered. And then
Okay, so explain that to me. What is Lee when Lee goes to his friends to tell them how he got screwed? I just got sucked out on. Bad beated.
Whatever.
Beated badly.
Yeah, like if Joe would have lost the hand, Joe would have got cooler.
Okay. No, I'm down with I'm hip to the jive here.
Yeah. But since Joe won, Lee got sucked out on.
Sucked out on.
And stacked.
Stacked off.
He stacked off.
I stacked off. I still.
He didn't really stack off because he still had chips, but
right.
Stacking off is losing all of your chips. But
I won't raise. How about that?
Joe stacked off with ace jack, but then got lucky.
Nice. Okay.
He got coolered and he stacked off, but then he got lucky.
Are you just trying to jam as many poker
I'm
turns
trying to
as
just
you can
like
into one?
sentence.
Yeah. It's good.
All right.
All right.
Looks like Jill raised
Down to 4.
Yeah.
Top 4.
I think that went Anthony limp. Jill raised.
Hey, look at it. It's Manoli. Hey, Manoli, next week you're going to be a
Hey, you know what I was actually thinking?
World
I don't
Series
know
of
if I could say
Poker
this on air.
circuit ring winner.
But the events that happened at the end of Friday night at Metawa might have caused him to give you a
super.
piece. So it really just parlayed. You won and then got 50% and then won. I mean,
It's insane.
it really is. So that 800 and flips,
Turned into like
a
10.
lot more than that.
It's pretty gross.
It's really gross. All right, folds to Jill in the small blind. We've seen the small blind, big blind showdown before with Joe and Jill. Jill's probably going to raise here. She does. Joe gives it up. Easy game. King 8.
King 8, King Jack. That could have gotten ugly, small blind, big blind.
I think Jill made a pretty big raise.
She had the King Jack or King 8?
She had the King Jack.
All right. Not bad, not bad. Chip counts, we're up to 800,000 for Anthony. Jill still hovering at 500. So is Joe. And now it's nice. I don't know if it's nice. Sometimes it sucks when the 2 short stacks. Granted, we had a really short stack, and then the 4th place person. If one of them, if the 4th place guy knocks out the short stack, it makes for now, right? I mean, it makes it where it's a little tough. You hate to see the 2 short stacks go against it.
Right.
It's funny, when I was playing, I was like, oh man, I want so-and-so to win the pot. Because he already had so many chips, I was like, I don't care if he gets another 200K, because it doesn't matter to me.
All right, so Anthony opens 9s under the gun, and then Jill rips the ace 10 of clubs.
All in for $500,000.
And this is a tough spot for Anthony. He's just going to give it away, find a better spot. Which, 9's four-handed is pretty strong.
Yeah, but Jill, I think this could have gone very badly for either one of the players.
Well, yeah, somebody's going to lose $1 million.
No, I just meant like that. She took the what do you always say? It's unexploitable. She did not want to get exploited on the flop with her ace 10 of clubs. Yeah. It's really how he should have played the 9s, but
yeah, but they're too deep for him to just.
Correct.
But yeah,
maybe she felt like she could put him on those 2 middle pairs and just make it happen, Captain.
We got a little former main event champion sweating Pat. Mike won the 2018 CSOP main. It's always awkward when you sweat somebody and they have a hand. It's like, do I stand and watch? Do I just walk away?
Do I move? Right.
It's like, do I just, yeah.
That's why I don't like to look at other people's hands.
Yeah. I think, like, if you look at it and they do 7, I'd walk away. So if I look at it and they have aces, I still just
walk away. Yeah.
All right. Joe raised under the gun with the ace 10 off. Anthony in the big blind with 3s is going to defend. It's only a double, 20K more. Heads up to the flop. Queen, ace 3, bingo, bango, bongo.
That's a good flop for Jill and a good flop for Anthony. Don't be a diamond. Diamond could be trouble.
4. Just a beauty turn. This is going to be bet. You could be raising here with Anthony. All options are in play. Flatting, raising, not folding.
All right, so the diamonds do hit.
But nobody ever... Is it put check on the river?
It does.
Holy
He checks
smokes.
and she insta-checks behind.
That's kind of crazy that there wasn't a bet. I mean, I guess Anthony was just checking the check call. 2% there.
Sorry, we took a moderate break there because the sawing in the back was driving me nuts.
Is that the beef in the background?
That is the beef in sweatpants. Best beef story.
Go ahead.
Kid comes in to volunteer and somebody goes, man, you can't wear sweatpants to volunteer in. You're going to have to buy some jeans. Or you have to wear jeans. Comes the next day with jeans on, and somebody's like, hey, good job. You wore jeans. He's like, yeah, I had to borrow them from a friend.
So I rented them.
Like, wait a second.
The
kid decided to lease rather than own a pair of jeans.
Yeah. He goes,
You go to Old Navy and buy jeans for $12.
No, he rented them for $5. It's cheaper.
It's great. Anyways, Brandon and I were also talking during break about the coronavirus.
The difference between epidemics and pandemics.
Pandemic and endemic.
And the Olympics and whether or not... It's crazy.
Right. And I have a trip to Mexico and Italy coming up soon.
Yep.
Within a couple of months. It's wild. It's some wild stuff. Human interactions, which we find in poker all the time. You ever get to a table that's like just everybody seems to be negative and down and like all the arguing and stuff that happens versus a table where it's like a super fun table and everybody's like engaging and nice and having a good time.
It was funny. Yesterday, a dude moved from the feeder to our main game, and he had like a beer, and you can tell he was out of town, and he was just having a good time with his buddies. And he's like, who here is having fun? And I was like, man, you're at the wrong table. I'm like, 9-seat miserable, 7-seat wants to kill himself, 5-seat stuck 2,000. I was like, you're basically at the wrong table, man.
Yep.
He's like, all right, great. And then,
if you want to have fun, you're out of luck.
Then we kind of spiced up. He actually kind of spiced up the table a little bit. It was nice. It helped that he had like 1,800 and didn't understand using 2 cards in your hand.
Oh, nice.
He's like, wait a second. It was like the board was 10, 10, 8, 8, 10. And he's like, if I have an 8 here, what do I have? I was like, well, you'd lose to pocket deuces. And he's like, how? And so we had to explain to him the using of 2 cards. He was very confused. So I bought him a couple beers.
Nice.
Yeah. Got a little bit of his money, and then he went home. Raised to 45K from Instamuck and a call from the button.
From Anthony again.
To the button. Blinds fold. I love how Pat just randomly decides to play an A7 after 2 hours of folding and then just drills a 3-outer on him.
Well, he doesn't know it's a 3-outer. He thinks he started the hand with the better ace. Now, he does have to fade a heart here because Anthony's got the ace of hearts.
No.
Yeah.
7 diamonds.
7 diamonds. Stupid graphics.
Oh, blame the graphics, sure.
You seen that new meme going around where it's the guy riding his bicycle with the stick in his hand, and then he sticks the stick in the front wheel spokes, and he goes like flipping over the handlebars, and then the next cardboard things or the next box goes, fucking dealers.
Yeah, I have seen that.
No.
I thought it was going to be Trump, but dealers, yeah.
Yeah, same thing. It's like you're blaming the wrong stuff.
Yeah, you're blaming the wrong.
It's very funny.
Did you see Jordan's speech?
I watched the whole thing with no sound on the stage. That's the only TV I could see.
The whole thing with
because I was at the World Series and I was sitting on the stage, and there's only one TV you can see, which I find to be kind of weird.
It's a big one, though.
It is, but it's like one choice, and they had the Kobe celebration thing on. And it was good. It was hard to kind of see it without actually hearing any of it.
Yeah, it was very good. The dialogue was all good. But Jordan was just like, he's up there just crying. And like, just like, nose is running. He's just crying. And he's like, I told my wife I wasn't going to do this. Now I'm going to, it's like, Kobe's got me, so everyone's going to make fun of me on a meme for crying for another 5 years. You know, like the Jordan meme.
What was the original cry meme from?
I think it's his Hall of Fame speech.
Oh, nice. It's kind of nice that he's a crier in public, and he's okay with it, you know?
The dude's a billionaire.
I mean, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah. FedEx alert. Signature required.
Is he still married to...
He's got a new wife.
Okay.
I don't know who it is.
What was his original wife's name?
I don't know.
Something with a Juanita, maybe? Juanita Jordan?
Juanita.
I think. But I don't really know.
But it was very... Vanessa Bryant's speech was incredibly sad.
It's an incredibly sad story, no matter what. We had some weird conversations at the table. It's always funny to get, like...
The Juanita Vanoy?
Was that Jordan's first wife?
Yeah, 89 to 06.
Yeah, so she was with him during all the good years, and then she got rid of him.
Prieto.
Yeah.
Married in 2013.
But it's funny, the weird...
model from Cuba.
The weird conversations you get into at the poker table.
Yeah. It's weird. Stuff just comes up, and then...
Yeah, and you go down these weird rabbit holes.
And people just have... so they're quiet, but then they have opinions about stuff when...
Yeah.
That's why, politics is never good to get up.
I always tell people, Religion and politics, probably not something you should talk about, especially in today's world.
Yeah.
You're just going to offend, I don't know, it's just,
Right.
it's never going
You
to
can't say anything and everybody be like, oh yeah, I agree.
Right.
Like, ever.
Never.
At a 9-handed table, you're screwed.
Ace 4, fake aces for Instamuck here. Under the gun. No, he's a button. Mo's talking about restaurants. That was a miserable 25 minutes of my life.
Standard Mo conversation.
He's best. King Jack off. These two seem to be the only two battling for larger pot size, which actual hands. Jill's going to get out of the way here. Nope.
Jill's in there.
Yeah, she gets to see a flop cheap.
I mean, it's 25,000 more. She's got 40,000 in with her big blind ante, or 30,000 in with the small blind ante. It's borderline. You could probably chuck that one. 9-4 off is one of the worst hands you
Pat,
can
can
get out.
C bet here or C give it a pass? Are you giving up if you just check there?
I don't know. There's all these delayed C bets.
Like now? Is now a delayed C bet?
It would be if he bet, but this is going to be a bad turn for him to bluff because so much is going to continue. All your pocket pairs, your sevens, your sixes, your king of heartses is all going to now call a turn bet.
King of hearts is?
Yeah, king of heartses.
Are you only saying because the king of hearts is out?
Yeah, I'm saying like, well, any of the hearts, but
Yeah.
I'm saying like, king jack would probably fold the flop. He ain't.
So
ever
Anthony
folded
bet
something.
out his king of hearts and took the pot down.
Yeah,
Which is a pretty sizable pot considering Joe got in there. I mean, he's up 100K with the blinds. All right, 40% of chips in play. Everybody else is pretty even.
yeah, it's pretty even.
It's not a huge,
And Anthony, everybody hurts Anthony.
yeah.
If Anthony doubles up anybody, he switches places with him. I wonder what Joe's talking about.
They're talking about like places in the South Side. I don't know what neighborhood Joe lives in, but he's like a South Side guy. So I mean, like they knew some of the same like
I see.
families and like restaurants and stuff that they were
Like
talking
old
about.
School restaurants that
Yeah,
have been
yeah,
around
yeah.
Since the 50s. All right, he's going to complete with the king queen. Oh, he's going to call the raise.
Right.
Pat opened under the gun. Queen jack off. He's
Which I
opening
like.
up a little bit.
Yeah, he's the range is getting a little bigger. Can he
Is
outflop him
this
again?
a queen? Because that's going to spell
No,
trouble.
I think it's a king.
king
of diamonds.
6-3.
Pat decides to c-bet
this
this
time,
one,
yeah,
and it's
that's-
going to turn out to be a bad one for him. But let's see what the turn is. Maybe it's a 10. 8 banger. Joe's not going anywhere here. Check, check. Joe's just laying the trap down for the kid. It did go check, check.
See, but this is where like Pat's image got a check on the turn and a check on the river from
Right.
Joe.
He got to see it without actually paying anything else,
Right.
only because...
Like Joe was scared to value about that river.
Yeah. I mean, maybe put him on kings?
I don't know. I think you just don't. You have so much showdown value. You don't want to get raised off of your perceived
Top pair with a phenomenal kicker. Sorry to everybody who just heard me yawn that.
top pair phenomenal kicker.
It is. Queen's a great kicker. Are you a double chip stacker?
Yes.
I am too. Do you ever go triple?
I mean, whenever I get there.
If
So
you have the
rarely.
opportunity.
Oh, yeah,
You don't
for
go
sure.
wide, you still continue to go
Oh,
tall?
yeah.
Okay, so tall's better than wide?
Absolutely.
All right. It's a definitive statement. I like it.
I like the 4-3-2-1 triangle, then the 3-2-1 triangle. And
So you want the bowling pin triangle, and
yes,
then...
I want the 1,000 triangle.
Okay.
Yeah,
I always do this. I always do 600. And
6 is good,
and then I
too.
do. It's good, but I do find that it's harder to maneuver.
It is,
I got
'cause
to work on
there's-
the
it's
10
thin.
base.
Yeah, it's
you
thin.
got to work on the base and the bottom.
Right. You got to get 10. Which here we don't really have enough chips in play to do that.
No.
The 6 is like standard. Like people are like, "Oh, you got 500 red. Will you sell me a red?" I'm like, "No, I need to get to 6. Then you can start."
I don't like when people want to color up or do something weird because it makes their stack sizes even. I purposely don't do it just to piss them off. And I tried to convince the guy next to me when I was buying up yellow at the final table, the 1K chips, and he's like, I got 44. I'm like, cool. Well, the going rate right now is 70%. So I owe you, like 35
Right.
and whatever. He's like, wait, what? No, I don't want it. I was like, I'm kidding. Like, he's like, that seems like a bad deal. I was like, it is.
It is a bad deal.
Don't take it.
All right, so looks like Pat just bigs the 8 on the river to give him the gutter ball, bets, and Anthony calls with his 8. Just the nut river for...
Yeah. The only way any more money's going to go in his hand, because, I guess it... No, yeah. Only way any money's getting in.
8.
Because it gives Anthony pair, which he can kind of put it off, because somebody would have bet the king, somebody would have bet the jack. 8 is the highest pair out there. It's like, all right. And I have an ace kicker, which feeling pretty good.
If a queen's a phenomenal kicker, an
It
ace
is a
a...
pew 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 kicker.
Okay.
A pick kicker. Pew kicker. Nope. That's not it.
Yeah, I'm not even going to try.
Not even going to acknowledge
No,
that one.
Nope. Just going to act like...
That didn't happen.
Nope.
You can pretend it didn't happen, but it did.
All right. Jill under the gun, ace 3. This is...
Pretty good spot to put in some chips.
Yeah, she's all in. I was about to say, it's kind of one way or the other. Some people look down at an ace, that's like, ooh, 4-handed ace. I'm in there. Other people look down at ace 3 and they're like, if I put chips in and somebody else puts chips in, how am I going to win this pot? All right, so now we are super even in stacks. 744 for Anthony, 4-something for Jill. Everybody's within 10 big blinds. By the way, if you guys notice, I'm still teaching Howard how to play
He was there
open-face
yesterday.
Chinese.
He used to bring it
I mean,
once a week. I haven't seen him till a while, but
I should be getting paid multiple hundreds of dollars an hour to...
To babysit him?
Yeah.
Because
Well, I
that's
will say, I was a little impressed with his, like,
ability to pick up on it.
yes. And, like...
It's kind of cool.
And his, like... He was like, oh, I see. He's like, aces... If aces are 9, that means queens are worth 7 up top. And, like, he's like, oh, you get an extra card if you get a king. And like, he seemed to, like, pick it up a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, he was no good at the game. He didn't know what he was doing.
Sure.
But, like, usually you, like, try to explain the scoring system, and everyone's like, I don't give a shit. Like, whatever,
Right.
the scoring system. He's like, oh, straight's 2 and flush is 4 and this is 6. And he's like, well, what do you get for quads on the bottom? I'm like, 10. He's like, oh, okay. All right. Trip 8's for Jill. She bets 70K. Nobody calls the river. Got to be approaching the end of 10-20.
It's got. I mean, they were what, 35-minute levels?
35-minute levels. We've been on the horn for 33 minutes.
We'll see what happens. Oh, well, it was a break that we came back
yeah,
from,
so it's 35
it literally should be the full 35 minutes.
Okay.
King 7 suited. Under the gunner cutoff, however you want to think about it.
King, queen. Much better king. This is going to be a standard raise. 50K. 55.
Speed limit.
Jill is going to be all in.
Yeah. She's really putting the pressure on him. I feel like I'd be getting pissed here. He seems to open and she just jams in on top of him. That's the second time she's done it.
And
And the
he's gotta give
second
up the
time
king,
he's folded.
queen.
Yeah. I mean, it's either great reads by Jill or great timing, or maybe a combination of the two.
A lot
But-
of good timing.
Yeah, and she seems to be just putting the
Yeah,
pressure
she's
on.
piling it in and saying, hey, you got ace jack beat. You're going to beat me.
Right. You win.
Right.
I like the you win analogy. If you got it, you got it. I'm not folding here. I am not folding here.
Now, when people say you got it, do they mean like if you got it, the hand, like the hand, or you got it, the pot?
I think it means like if you've got a better hand, then you're good. It's more like if you've got
Yeah, right.
something
If you got
better.
it, I get the first you got it, but the second you got it. If you got it, you got it. Like if you've
got the goods, then you've got the pot.
goods or the pot?
No, you got the pot.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I
see what I'm
didn't. Yeah,
saying?
I didn't know what you were talking about.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
I get
it's
it now.
yeah.
What time is that? I call if it's like 40. Yeah, right.
All right. I mean, this is a battle here. They all are even.
It's close.
I mean, for as tight as Pat is, as loose as Jill is, and Joe and Anthony are somewhere in between. Pat completes the small blind, King 8, Anthony Jack 3 offsuit, and the big wolf. King, Ace, 5. Pat checks. I think Pat knows he's got the best hand when Anthony checks back. Queen, Pat's probably going to bet a little bit for value here. He should have the best hand a lot. He does, and there's nothing much Anthony can do. Folds. All right, on to the next one.
On to the next one. Everybody on their phones right now. You got 3 we can see, and I see 3 phones.
You can see Jill's.
Yeah, but her phone is face down. Everybody else is face into their phone. So I want to ask you about something.
Okay.
I don't know what I'm going to call it because I don't want to preface it or make it any weird. Anyways,
Okay.
showdown.
Okay.
Player A says set of 7s, which he had. Player B rolls over his hand. This is the order in which they have to show. Player B goes, I got jacks for a set of jacks. Dealer goes to scoop up the 2 hands. Now both hands get tabled. They scoop both hands into the muck.
Uh-huh.
And then the 10 seat and the 8 seat, other side of the table, both go, the guy with 7s had a straight.
Okay.
At what point in a tournament, now this is the final table of a WSOP circuit event, ring event, we're down to 6 players.
Uh-huh.
Is it 6? It might have even been 5. No, it was 6 because that guy got 6th. What is the player's obligation to yell out another player who has misread their hand? And just
As
didn't.
soon as they're tabled.
You should just yell out, you have a straight?
Yep.
Even though the other guy doesn't know he has a straight?
Yep.
Is there any ethics in there
Nope,
that you're
it's-
not supposed to read another
No,
player's
it's
hand?
the opposite. You're supposed to
Protect the fairness of the game.
It's like your duty to show. It's like
Duty.
Your duty. It's your responsibility,
Obligation,
Your
yeah.
obligation to like.
If you
know,
see the guy's got a flush and he didn't say flush and the dealer's going to push the pot to the wrong guy, you should be saying no.
Right.
That's a straight.
Yeah.
So they both said it. The dealer didn't hear it. Now, the dealer did have a hearing aid in, so obviously that might have played into this. Plus, the 10 seat who claims he said it 5 times, I was sitting next to him in the 2-3 seat, and I never heard one thing he said. Like, he was just a super soft talker. Yeah, coming from guys like you and me who are very loud talkers, I definitely make up for it. But
Yeah.
if you're in the boat of it is your
serious,
obligation
yeah.
to say it, just be like, no, you got it straight.
Yeah.
All right, slight variation. What if the guy is looking at his
Yeah,
cards?
it's way different. You can't
Nope.
say anything.
Oh, no. Oh, wait, what?
Yeah, if you see it, he's looking.
What if he's not protecting his hand, holding it up, and he goes, "I got a set of 7s." The other guy shows jacks, and then he folds.
You don't say anything.
Yeah, at that point, do you?
The cards aren't played
You
until
don't
they hit the table.
Right. Once they hit the table, anybody can say it. It is what it
Anybody
is.
reads the cards. Yeah.
All right. What here? Speaking of 7s, what if?
55 again.
So unless the only time you say anything is if the guy tables his hand. If he doesn't table his hand, you don't say nothing.
Yep.
Mouth shut. But once the tables have hit the cards, whoa!
Once the tables have, yeah,
Once the cards have hit the table, then it is every player's responsibility to read the hand and try to make sure that the correct hand is winning.
Yes.
Okay. It's interesting. I don't know if I would have said that, but I never pay attention to what goes on. And this all happens after everything gets jumbled up. And then we try to flip it back over to see what it was.
Uh-huh.
And the floor goes, hey, guys, I got to go here with... 2 players said they both clearly said straights, and the dealer still like it. I'm going to go with... And then both players are like backpedaling like, well, I don't want this responsibility of... It might have even been 7-handed because Martin was still at the table. All right, so Instas got 7s. No, I'm sorry.
Anthony Sevens, Joe Call with King, Queen 10 of clubs. Instamuck with kings here.
And it's his action? Or he's a big blind. He's a big blind.
Deciding whether or not
how much to bet.
Yeah. Is he going to go 220?
Yep. 200 even. What was the original race? 55?
Yep.
So it's 4x here, almost 3.5. Sizing wise, you like it or?
Love it.
I mean, you did just yell out. Is he going to go 220 or what was the other thing you were going to say? Or just call?
Or just shove.
Ah.
I think his hand's so strong. Like I feel like if he had tens,
effectively, it's the same thing.
It's not.
You think this is more telling to a bigger hand?
Yeah, because I think if he has tens or nines,
he just ships it.
He just rips it, or even jacks. But like he doesn't want to lose the value.
It's funny. I was a big blind, and of course, the dealer was like, "Sir, it's your option." I was like, "Yeah, rip it." And he was like, "I don't know what that means."
It's funny because
I was like, "Really?
Rip the flop?"
Yeah, let's just rip it. Let's rip the flop. And I was like, I check. And he said, can you be more clear next time? And I was like, you got it. I was like so blown away that I didn't know if he was teasing me or serious. I didn't say it again,
right.
But
you got it, buddy.
I was like, okay, sorry. You're good. But we also had an interesting thing about deal making at a WSOP final table and the etiquette and rules on those. It is frowned upon in that establishment.
Well, yeah, they just don't want to solicit it. Or they don't want to.
They don't want to take. I just don't understand the reasoning behind it.
Me and the dude in the Bad Donkey, that Brian guy with the beard that colors like Hurley.
It's not a donkey. It's an ass.
So it's not a donkey.
It's an ass. But when I first saw the hat, I was like, "Bad donkey?
That's what
is
too.
that?" And I literally, it's the exact same thing that happened in my mind. They're talking deal here now, so there's going to be a quick pause, and if it's too much longer, we're talking about deal making. So, is deal making?
So he said that they don't do it because.
This is how we got off of the right.
Yes,
badass.
That dude said
it's an ass, badass.
He said the only thing he could think of as a reason why that they don't want to, work with the players is like tax evasion stuff, and like casinos are super like.
No, it makes sense.
Protective of taxes, like
they are.
Oh, let's just chop it up, and then let's have Ken, who has $1 million in write-offs, win it, so he doesn't have to pay taxes.
Correct.
And the guy that has no write-offs get
take
third
fifth place money, even though he got first place money.
Correct.
Because I actually have heard chops where it's like, all right. It was a horror story. It was where somebody was like, all right, we're going to play it out. Whoever and not go to the payout table until all three of us are out. And then basically whoever gets third place is going to sign for first place money. You're not only going to get, and you're going to have to eat the tax. So they were basically playing for the tax.
Right.
Even though whoever was going to get it. But it wasn't a ring event, so it didn't really matter. It was like an HBT or whatever. Or a non-ring WSOP event. And then the horror story is that the guy got the first place tax, went downstairs to the cage, and then just beelined it to the parking lot. Was like, woohoo, peace.
Yeah,
I'm out of here.
Yeah, that happened in the LAPC or something like that. They did it. They chopped it. And then the guy who got first place, he's like, all right, I'm taking first. Security escort me out. I'm leaving. He went to China.
Yeah, so somebody actually, me and the guy from Iowa, I don't remember his first name. Dave?
Yeah.
Bill?
No, it's
Mike?
Something like that.
Whatever.
Luke.
Super solid player. I'm glad I got set to his left both days. So I never have to worry about him re-raising me in a pot. What you call it? Him and I were talking. I was like, have you ever heard of that? I'm like, I've always heard the story, but it's always like, oh, my friend of a friend saw Ferris Bueller pass out at 31 Flavors. Like, it's never the actual guy it happened to.
Right.
She's like, my 31 Flavors drop there.
It.
Yeah, it was good.
14,000.
So I mean, it was great.
So he said that, and he said, which we kind of run into, points discrepancies. Like they have to switch around the points. People can give, they can buy points.
Oh, I never even thought about that.
You can buy points,
I never
basically.
thought about that because they did mention a couple of times to us that we were doing.
14, so we're playing for 460.
Paul is his name.
Paul, I wasn't even close. Well, Paul,
Hey,
shout out
Mike.
if you listen to this. If you do, thank you for listening. Not that I'm not going to say thank you to everybody
Now you get
else.
to realize, yeah.
Yeah, but just in general, thank you for listening.
Points.
it's the same thing like with the CSOP. You cannot chop points. Like if you chop 5 ways, because deal making happens at charity poker basically in every tournament. It's actually a rarity to see them play out.
Right.
Correct?
Right.
Most of the time there's just chops, and then occasionally you'll see the play it out for a small portion. Blah blah blah. Was it? The nice thing about the WSOP, I get it now. You're right. It's way more money involved. I mean, when you're chopping up the early bird. And everybody's getting
$350.
Yeah, it's like whatever. It is what it is. But when you're talking about 3 guys chopping up $250K, $180,000, and $90,000 or whatever, I mean it's $500,000. That's a lot.
Yeah.
And it does come in effect where you get guys that'll say, "Hey, I'll pay you an extra $20,000 to get first place," which means I get the ring and I get the points for whatever because that person
so you're
cares
basically
about
buying
it.
points and buying championships and buying.
So they were just
and you have the option to
right.
So, but a lot of places allow you to do it. Like HPT will facilitate a chop. For
Oh, they will.
I think so.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I've never made.
Yes.
Correction, I have made to a final table of an HPT,
No, yeah,
but it was a.
I
just a
chop the
regular-
deal. They chop it up and
regular event.
they adjust the points for
Oh,
you
they
and
do.
stuff.
Kind of like we do. If you
Yes.
chop 5 ways, you chop the
And
points
they'll
5
adjust
ways.
the taxes and forms if you're in the money too. And
Meaning if you're
they'll
actually-
adjust the payouts.
That's awesome.
They'll print out a new payout sheet that's like instead of 10,000, 5,000, 3,000, it'll just be
666 or whatever, yeah.
it is, yeah.
I'm glad how we both drilled those math. All right.
Oh, I tried to make it easy math, but I was like, oh god, 18 divided by 3.
Oh, nice. So it looks like Pat opened. Nope, he's a small blind. He's deciding on what to do.
I think he raised and the big blind folded.
Yeah, before he can even do it.
All right, so
I like the idea.
Deal has
of-
been struck.
Deal has been strucken.
Stroked.
Struck.
Struck.
Whatever.
I like struck.
They made a deal. I think it's a pretty good deal.
So they're playing for not much money.
A very small amount.
Yeah, they're not playing for much.
And the trophy, which there isn't one, and the title. Everybody likes the title.
It is true. Like 5 people asked me, like, who won this Valentine's Day Massacre tournament? I swear, Abast, like another player at the table asked. And then I always say,
It was
Jill. And they're
unfortunate
like,
that
Jill.
It's
She wins
unfortunate
again?
that 2 things happened for this tournament. 1, Valentine's Day actually landed on Friday.
Right.
And 2, we had to do it, not had to do it, but we chose to do it at Bridgeview. Bridgeview has bingo on Thursday nights, so we couldn't pick up that extra day 1. So instead of 3 day ones, we were down to 2 day ones, and one of the 2 day ones turned out to be Valentine's Day on a Friday, which basically means anybody who's in a relationship, gay, straight, or otherwise, you going out on Friday night. Like, there's no getting out of it. I got out of it because...
You had to work.
I mean, that's what I told everybody.
Right.
And I don't think I came until like 11 o'clock. I still hung out and stayed at home for as long as possible, but...
And then another thing is I think people see, like, 14 players on Friday. Maybe it deterred 5, 6, 7, a table worth
from
of
coming
because if there's
Saturday.
30 on Friday, now you got 30 that were initially coming and maybe 10 more guys on Saturday. Like, oh man, there's 30 on Friday. This is going to be a big tournament. It's kind of like a momentum thing where, because I think that's what happened with our mini main,
right,
or our 360. We had like 35 on that Thursday flight. And then like 50 on Friday. So you got 80 going into Saturday.
It continuously goes up.
You got 80 going in on Saturday. All of a sudden, like they're going to have 100 on Saturday. Mm-hmm. Or 80 between Thursday and Friday. They're going to have 100 on Saturday. And then now there's 180 between the 3.
It's like more guys want to go.
More guys come on Sunday and direct buy in.
It's a domino effect.
Yeah.
And it's the reverse domino effect.
When
Players drop out when it's like, I'm not going to go.
Right.
Like, it's a whatever.
Right. The circuit's next week. Potawatomi was last week.
Yeah, it adds up fast. Queen 6 from Jill on the button.
She mucks. Jill mucks. Pat Queen 5.
All right, do we have a new chip leader? We do.
We do.
Insta's a new chip leader at 670. Anthony's down to 584, basically 600. Jill's at 540. Joseph. You can see why they made a chop here.
Yeah.
I mean, it's ICM suicide for one of them to drop out 4th here.
Correct.
And the pay jump between 4th and 2nd, because I think they ended up getting almost 2nd place money for the chop. It's like a no-brainer, right?
Yeah. Anytime you're getting 2nd place money, I mean, I would say you got to win it to get more.
And anything can happen.
Right.
Yeah, 29, 30, 29, 26, 24, 20. I would say that's a close race.
It only adds up to 99%.
They round down,
Okay.
clearly. I also like when the bubble bursts or when they're doing this kind of deal making where it's like, all right, we're going to take X and then play it out for Y. And it opens up just in general. Like, it's just so much easier to play then, and nobody's getting, like, goofy, and it's fun. Makes for a more enjoyable play.
Yeah. Less
The old,
stressful.
the old full walk. It's like
Like right here,
God, that
9,
sucks.
Jill ripping the ace.
Right.
10.
She never rips ace-6 suited
Right,
here.
if there's 4 ways.
All
And
clubs, which is going to give her a
is
lot
that
less
9?
outs.
Oh, I thought it was 9-6. Does it not look like 9-6 up there?
Well, yeah, the 9's upside down.
Gotcha.
And she drills a 6 on the river. 4 clubs for Anthony. These 9s were good the whole way. She might have some chips left. She is. She's going to have a few left. Well, as again, Jill is the last lady standing. Last lady? Last woman?
Last lady.
Last lady? The last player with a Y chromosome in the tournament. Again, so she has 2 claims to fame. Last woman in the St. Valentine's Day Bounty Massacre tournament, as well as the main event of 2019.
I'm not sure which
I
one
would
is
venture to
more
guess,
valuable.
if you had to ask me, that Jill has been the last woman in a lot of
Yeah,
tournaments.
I agree. I agree. All right, she's got...
She's down to 1. Nope, that's 20.
Oh, she doesn't...
She's bricked
Yeah, he's got her.
by a pip. I think it's barely.
Handshakes go around.
Yeah, it's nice. She played a good game. And again,
Joe is going to...
she does the exact thing. She knows that they're playing out for it's piddly. She's like, I'm not going to waste time here.
Yeah, if I
Nope.
double out here with ace-6...
No positive EV here
Nope.
for the extra little chunky chunk of change. She's like, I'm going to rip it on the first halfway decent hand I can see. Or go home. And be perfectly happy.
Yep.
All right, we're down to 3. Joe, Pat, and Anthony.
That's it?
That's going to do it for
All
part
right,
2.
Part 2, done.
Boy, it scared the crap out of me.
I didn't...
I didn't know we were done. Anyways, that's going to do it for part 2, everybody. Thank you for watching. You can catch the finale of these final 3 on Thursday of next week for Thursday Night Poker. Mini CSOP starts soon. You got the social media free roll. If you haven't subscribed to our channel on YouTube, please do so. We greatly appreciate it.
We're trying to give away money.
Trying to give away money, and you guys just don't seem to want it. So, want free money. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.